Question 11. IELTS hard disk has a capacity of 240 gigabytes. 1 gigabyte is 1 billion bytes. Write 240 gigabytes as standard form. So 1 gigabyte in standard form would be 1 times 10 to the power of 9. And standard form is always A times 10 to the power of B. But A is always something between 1 and 10. Right, so if 1 gigabyte is 1 times 10 to the power of 9, then 240 gigabytes will be 240 times 10 to the power of 9. But we can't leave it as that because it's not in standard form. We need to make sure it's written as a number between 1 and 10 times 10 to the power of another number. So if it's 240 times 10 to the power of 9, then it'll be 24 times 10 to the power of 10, and it would be 2.4 times 10 to the power of 11. And now we've got it written in standard form because that number in the front is between 1 and 10. So the answer is 2.4 times 10 to the power of 11 bytes. Okay, part 2. The hard disk has 26% of its total capacity unused. Work out the unused capacity. So we've got a 240 gigabyte hard drive, and 26% of it is unused. So to find 26% of something, you multiply it by 0.26. So we'll do 0.26 times 240. And if we do that, that gives us 62.4. And 62.4, again, if we write it out as we started off, would be times 10 to the power of 9. Because if we go back to the start, 1 gigabyte is 1 times 10 to the power of 9. So 62.4 is just going to be 62.4 times 10 to the power of 9. So now we need to change that into standard form because they can only be, it's got to be between 1 and 10. So that's going to be 6.24 times 10 to the power of 10. Part C. IELTS buys another hard disk with an unused capacity of 144 gigabytes. Work out the total unused capacity in bytes of both hard disks. Write your answer in standard form, correct to 2 significant figures. So we've got to add together our 144 gigabytes from one hard drive and 62.4 from the other hard drive. So if I add these two together, I get 206.4. So 206.4, and again, as all of these are, that would be times 10 to the power of 9. Because if 1 gigabyte is 1 times 10 to the power of 9, then 206 gigabytes is going to be 206 times 10 to the power of 9. So then we just need to make this into standard form. So if 206.4 times 10 to the power of 9 is that, then 20.64 times 10 to the power of 10 must be true. And to make it into standard form, it would be 2.064 times 10 to the power of 11. Notice here it does say give your answer to correct to 2 significant figures. The second significant figure here would be this one, so we'll look at the one next to it, and that tells us to round it up. So to two significant figures, it will be 2.1 times 10 to the power of 11.